Women, how can they be completely unreasonable? She executed the technique, revealing a fleeting glimpse of red, despite being limited in the water. Movement has slowed down significantly, yet still agile. Easily avoided that powerful kick. Liu Qingxian with one foot in the air, more angry yet still dared to hide. With a swift backhanded punch, the side of Fang Chen was bombarded. Repeatedly striking made Fang Chen angry as well. Be careful, people are easy to bully, aren't they? She unleashed it without a second thought. Dragon palm first style. King Long's right fist suddenly swung out, with a strong airflow. Emit bursts of dragon sounds, the spiritual energy swirling around the fist. It is also like a majestic dragon head. The two collided in midair. Tap, tap, tap. Fang Chen suddenly felt an unmatched immense force surge towards him. She was stunned and kept retreating, deeply shocked in my heart. Is this also an inner disciple of Qingshan's sect? The strength is formidable. Zhang Kai and Zhen are simply worlds apart. Liu Qingxian also brandished his spear, almost fell into the water, expressed surprise. You are a newcomer. People don't even draft their lies anymore. That strike just now. They can surpass many inner disciples who have practiced for years. How can a newcomer possess such strength? Without a doubt. This is definitely an old disciple trying to violate himself. After being exposed, just pretending to be a newcomer, trying to slip through unnoticed. Thinking of this, she was furious. A surge of spiritual energy coursed through him, like a tsunami sweeping through the surroundings, mist over the spirit pool. All were scattered by her terrifying spiritual power. I initially thought about just digging out your eyeballs. There, I changed my mind. You die for me. Liu Qingxian coldly sneered, but just at the moment of taking action. As the fog dissipates, both figures became completely clear. The two of them froze simultaneously. It's you. Fang Chen looked troubled. Aren't you the one from Chengzhu Fu called Zion? Thinking it over, she also took out a purple jade pendant. Liu Qingxian is also the main character, staring intently at Fang Chen. Some doubts. Am I just confusing myself out of anger? I'm seeing illusions. 9-rank spiritual root. That cultivation speed is unbelievable. The 9-rank spiritual root that cries itself out of anger, that one sought countless times. The elusive 9-rank spiritual root. She is in despair. The 9th grade spirit root that no longer holds hope unexpectedly appeared in front of me, rubbing my eyes. Felt restless under her gaze. Uncontrollably huddled my body. She had heard someone say, "The boy is outside. You must learn to protect yourself." As soon as the words fell, Liu Qingxian suddenly pounced. A pair of hands grabbed her shoulders. A pair of sharp eyes kept staring at her, as if wanting to devour her, still speaking with their mouth. Let Fang Chen be puzzled. Found it. Finally found it. Oh heavens! You finally opened your eyes. Fang Chen was a bit scared of this woman. I remember the last time I took on the role of Shadow One. When I met her, she is just as excited. She quickly pushed it away. He turned around and ran towards the shore. Liu Qingxian came to her senses. An immense excitement surged in her eyes. He caught her with a big laugh. Looking at this has caused me endless suffering. The guy who makes her both love and hate. She polished her silver teeth. You are really hard to find. Do you know how much I have suffered for you? Now you've come to me willingly. Still want to run. Come back to me. She threw Fang Chen back into the center of the pool. Fang Chen wanted to cry but had no tears. Where did I provoke this powerful being? An outrageous young lady. Liu Gunyang. Let's talk things over calmly. You look a bit scary. Liu Qingxian scoffed. Say, Liu Qingxian suddenly remembered something. Hui Dao, you wouldn't be called Fang Chen, would you? She remembers. I investigated the deep dragon path myself. Land of the extraordinary. Fang Chen is a prodigy. Once a person entered my view. That is Liu Ruxu's fiancé, Fang Chen. It's just that Liu Ryan is considered mediocre. This made her lose interest. It can't be. The person in front of me. It's Fang Chen. She is not just a ninth, rank spiritual root. Still that unparalleled talent who pursues their dreams relentlessly. Fang Chen blinked. That, how do you know my name? She remembers. The two only have a brief acquaintance. I did not disclose my name. Liu Qingxian widened her eyes again in disbelief. It pounced again, holding Fang Chen's shoulders, eyes radiating with shock. Then you are the Dragon Path reward. The one who defeated Nangang Liayan. You know this too. Fang Chen's eyes sparkled. No response. But this default. Let Liu Qingxian confirm. The unparalleled genius I have been searching for. It is a 9-rank spiritual root. Recall what just happened. Fang Chen's astonishing strength is revealed. Further confirmation. Defeating Nangang Liayan. This is Fang Chen. It really is you. It's really you. She suddenly understood. Why are you at the Lord's mansion? Fang Chen's 9th-grade spiritual root, much stronger than her 7th-grade spiritual root. The reason is that Fang Chen's spiritual root, it's likely not just as simple as a 9th rank. This is what led both her and Chen Jindao to misunderstand. 9-rank spiritual root and peerless genius. It is two people. The truth is revealed. Her surprise was beyond words. Unthinkingly put this away. The great treasure that was lost and found. Hold in my arms. Afraid she would run away again in the next moment. Great. Our sect leader, Feng, has hope now. Father doesn't have to worry anymore. Fang Chen was buried in his embrace. Could not help but widen his eyes. Quickly pushed her away. What are you doing? Men and women should not have close physical contact. Liu Shaiji, please have some self-respect. Liu Qingxian finally realized. What kind of state are you in? A pure and flawless jade lotus. Immediately, a bright red streak appeared. What did I do? However, seeing Fang Chen looking like he had suffered a great loss, I can't help but feel angry again. Took advantage. It's still a burden for you. She Liu Qingxian is not bad either. Only discussing beauty. It can rank among the top few of the 9 sects. How many sect heirs are there? Heirs all long for a clear path. Gave Fang Chen a chance. She actually feels disdain. Fang Chen couldn't be bothered to argue with her. Dao, can I leave now? If we don't leave now, other female disciples have arrived. Finding you makes it hard to explain. Liu Qingxian thought so too. Dao, let's go. By the way, tomorrow, regardless of which elder chooses you as that sect's disciple, no one is allowed to agree. I will have my father come to get you. Fang Chen let out a sound. You can't control me. Liu Qingxian said with a smile that seemed more like a tease. Oh, do you want the entire sect to know? Your female disciple, Ling Chai. Fang Chen's face turned pale. Gritting his teeth, he said, You are ruthless. Turned away. Liu Qingxian imitated Fang Chen and shouted, You don't control me. Fang Chen said nothing further. Stand up directly. The bare body lay before her. Rug. Liu Qingxian let out a scream, hastily covering his face. Squatting in the water, Fang Chen curled his lips. What does it matter how strong you are? It's still easy to handle. She jumped ashore, quickly put on the clothes. Now that there's no one around, hurry up and run away. A long time later, Liu Qingxian dared to rise. A stunningly beautiful face, lingering remnants of the evening glow. She circled around her rose-petal-like red lips, laughing and getting up. Little rascal, no one has ever made me this angry in my life. Waiting for you to enter my father's door. That would be my junior apprentice. There is plenty of time ahead. Watch how I touch you. Once upon a time, Fang Chen. She felt relaxed, lightly stepping along the path away from the back mountain, hiding in the shore. Zhang Qizhen and others waited for Fang Chen to be brought out. I couldn't help but doubt my own eyes. It seems like someone has been punished. Full of life and energy, Zhang Qizhen angrily punched Liu Yang in the chest. Drink it all down. This is what you call an irretrievable situation. Liu Yang was also full of questions. Oh, it shouldn't be like this. Liu Qingxian was clearly bathing inside. Zhang Shixin, I'll go in to check the situation. He just wouldn't believe it. Could it be that Liu Qingxian has finished her bath? This kid just got lucky. Not discovered by Liu Qingxian. He stepped forward and walked inside. Not long after, arriving not far from the spirit pool, peeking inside quietly, uncontrollably, the wicked one, Liu Qingxian was seen combing her wet hair by the river bank. This proves that Liu Qingxian has always been here, in this way. Doesn't it mean? Just now, the two were bathing together. Liu Yang was astonished, discovered a secret that shouldn't have been found. He crawled away in terror, trying to escape. However, unexpectedly, Liu Qingxian turned around coldly like ice. Just now, you tricked Fang Chen into coming here. He looked over coldly. Liu Yang was drenched in cold sweat. It felt as if the sky had fallen. Immediately kneel on the ground and bow. I was wrong. I was wrong. Spare my life, immortal fairy. Liu Qingxian's eyes glowed with an even colder light. You have caused a big disaster. Do you know? Liu Yang was terrified to the core. I almost tarnished the fairy's purity. I am guilty. I have a terrible sin. Liu Qingxian flew over. He stepped on and shattered the bluestone steps in front of him. Harming my reputation is secondary. You almost made me mistakenly kill an extraordinary celestial being. Your sin. Unforgivable. And by a single palm strike shattered his dantian, ruined his cultivation. Get out of Qingyan's sect now, for the sake of you taking care of me for many years. Junior brother reminds you, don't fight with Fang Chen. Finished speaking, walking up the mountain gate, filled with pain and regret. Zhang Qizhen struggled for a long time. Immediately, however, his fists clenched tightly. Let me not fight with Fang Chen. He stole my woman. Once again, let me cover the night's road. How can you expect me to endure? Qingyan sect. With him there's no me. Fang Chen, completely unaware of this, holding the key obtained from the dragon's way, arrived at Qingyan sect's medicine manual. A massive magic array surrounds the medicine spectra, the only entrance and exit. There were deacons and several outer disciples guarding. If it's true, since the key is real, he has no right to interfere. Lower grade key. Only herbs can be harvested from the lower grade herb list. The total weight does not exceed 10 pounds. Materials for the fierce tiger pill. It's not something exceptionally rare. Perhaps we can find it in the lower grade medicine list. It's a senior. He entered with the key. Suddenly, countless medicine boxes came rushing towards me. A vast medicinal chart covering 100 acres came into view, growing countless medicinal herbs. Any random plant. These are rare medicinal herbs that are hard to find in the outside world. At this moment, he discovered the main material he needed, by whose strong might, however, before this formidable power, there was a fair-looking female disciple, currently picking. Watch his bare-handed movements. Fang Zheng's expression changed slightly. Hastily said, "Stop it." The female disciple was startled by the sudden shout. Startled and shivered. Squatting body, he sat down unsteadily into the muddy medicine chart. He quickly got up, look at the mess behind. She couldn't help but glance at Fang Cheng with complaints. "What are you shouting about?" Fang Cheng let out a slight sigh. He walked over and pointed at Meng Hu Kang Wai. "This is my first time encountering such strong power." The female disciple's delicate face flashed a hint of guilt, but stubbornly said, "Who said that? I have planted it in my backyard." Fang Cheng smiled without speaking, picked up a dry twig from the ground, carefully poked Kang Wai. Result: this flower appears pink with white stripes. The strikingly beautiful Kang Wai. The petals suddenly shrank, wrapped around the branch tips. Like a sudden, dazed tiger, like a fierce bite on the prey. With a sharp crack, the branch snapped with a sound. Watching this scene, the female disciple covered her mouth in surprise. "If I just touched it with my finger, the outcome is predictable. Even if it's not bitten off, it will also be bitten and torn." She blushed, slightly bowed and said, "I'm sorry. I misunderstood you. Thank you, too. The equation is not taken seriously. It's okay." Then he took out the prepared jade box and a jade dagger, skillfully picked up with a crisp sound. Before long, it filled an entire box. Rough estimate, about 3 jin. Enough to refine and complete the first level of cultivation. Iron blood, true scriptures. The required fierce tiger pill. You can also take away 7 jin of herbs. No need to think. You should know what to take away. The main ingredient of Zhu Jai Dan. Land coral and black striped lingjai. Fortunately, both materials are from the inferior pharmacopoeia, and it's just not far away. She took out the professional utensils again, picked 3.5 pounds of each material separately. The delicate girl looked at Fang Cheng. Incredibly skillful movements. "Bu Yu Yaran, this junior apprentice. May I ask which esteemed school you are from?" "I am Su Keening from the Medicine Seal." "Junior brother, what you just picked. It seems to be the materials for casting chicken Dan. Are you a disciple of Dan Feng?" She felt very puzzled. Materials for casting chicken Dan. Only the Dan Feng would need it. Other disciples of the sect. What is the use of this item? Which disciple? It's hard to say whether one can become a disciple of Feng Zhang. She let out a dry sound. Duh. I am just curious about medicinal herbs. It's not that he is a disciple of Dan Feng. The first day of joining the sect, he was deceived into losing the spiritual tooth of his female disciple. She no longer dared to tell the truth to anyone. The identity of the soul master. She would never reveal it, no matter what. Seeing that she was unwilling to say more, Su Qiuning didn't ask any further. At this moment, a voice from the doorway spoke directly about the prescription. "Su Qiuning, you have a quarter of an hour left. Select good medicinal herbs. Come out quickly. Do not linger." Su Qiuning's face scrunched up. "Take out the prescription from my pocket. There are still several types that haven't been found." Could not help but frown. "What should I do?" "There are still 5 varieties that haven't been picked well." Zheng Huang asked Bai if it was ready. This is the last task assigned to me by my master. If you fail the assessment, I'm going to be punished with a year of isolation, thinking about a year of retreat, like a punishment of imprisonment." Her little face turned pale. Mo Dai, Fang Chen's figure walked past. She couldn't help but feel a glimmer in front of her, slightly pursing her lips. Blushing, he said, "Junior brother, can you help me with a favor? The herbs on this prescription. Can you help me find them all? Looking for medicinal herbs. A difficult prescription. Can't even afford the herbs." She took the prescription and looked at it. Could not help but feel secretly astonished. "Isn't this the black soul bone ointment from Immortal Point? Required medicinal herbs. All are one of a kind in this world. At least, lowly apothecary, you are absolutely not qualified to obtain these herbs. No wonder she can't afford the medicinal herbs. These medicinal herbs are rare, still full of wonders. Inexperienced person, it's really hard to find in a short time. It's all right. There is always something immortal. I beg your junior apprentice. Time is running out. When will Su Qiuning make a request with her little hands? If you can find it, I only need one portion of the medicinal herbs. The rest is all yours. A portion of medicinal herbs, at most a pound. The remaining 9 jins should be given to Fang Chen. However, she first confirmed it, asking the way. You are holding the advanced pharmacopoeia right. The materials on this, 90% are in the higher pharmacopoeia. As soon as Giant Fangchen opened his mouth, then you will know the grade of these herbs." Su Qiuning felt that hope was greater, nodding repeatedly. "Yes, the medicinal herbs from the 3 prescriptions in the high school here. I can pick 10 pounds at will." Fang Chen completely let go of his worries. "Yeah, good. It's a deal." She first looked at what Su Qiuning had already harvested. "Immediately enter the advanced pharmacopoeia." Su Qiuning couldn't help but worry. "I've searched everywhere here. It seems there isn't any left." Fang Chen remained silent. Gave a glance. "I discovered a patch of seemingly ordinary grass. Just put on the gloves." Pulling it up, suddenly pulled out a golden yellow root. Dragon beard root. Dragon beard root on the prescription. Yes, how could I forget? Long Su Gen likes to parasitize the roots of wild grasses. Immediately following that, Fang Chen saw an apple tree again. They all seem like ordinary apples. But when she took out a mirror, borrowing a beam of light to strike upward, the apple instantly turned snow white. Sujin Guo, it turns out she was exposed to the sun. Only then will the true essence be revealed. The teacher never mentioned it. Next, Fang Chen is on the advanced pharmacopoeia. Occasionally find a way. Another elusive herb. In just half an hour. I want to see the continuation of Xuan Ling Tian die in advance treasures. You can download Kidian Reading. Then open the search. Xuan Ling Tian. Please be careful not to make any spelling or typing mistakes, because the blogger is using a theft-proof name. So the first one that jumped out is herbs on the prescription. Everyone is gathered. Fang Chen handed her 1 pound of it. Check the prescription. Check if anything is missing. Su Qiuning quickly compared them one by one. A delicate face was filled with surprise. All present. All are here. She looked at Fang Chen with almost worshipful eyes. Junior brother is simply amazing. Much more skilled than my senior sister. A quick glance from Fang Chen. I just know where the needed herbs are hidden. This point. Only by sealing the seal master can it be achieved. She feels. Fang Chen is definitely a top disciple of that letter. Otherwise, there would definitely be no such ability. This look of adoration, Fang Chen felt a bit guilty. Such precious medicinal herbs. She took away 90%. The other party showed no signs of reluctance. Instead, such calm praise. She scratched her head. I thought the difficulty of crafting black soul bone ointment was quite high. Su Qianing found it very difficult to search for medicinal herbs. With just a single herb in her hand, it seems quite difficult to succeed in the concoction. Forget it. Send the Buddha all the way to the west. Even if everything is settled completely. Sister Su, if you trust me, let me prepare the medicine for you. Su Qianing's eyes sparkled. She was feeling troubled inside. The medicinal herbs are all gathered, but can it be successfully refined? She has no foundation at all. Zen. Of course, I believe. She nodded eagerly. So, Fang Chen immediately started the fire. Just use the alchemy furnace to brew the bone-strengthening ointment. Add long after. A pitch-black darkness. A shiny black paste. Presented before Su Qianing. She couldn't help but frown, muttering quietly, "Black soul bone ointment. Shouldn't it be navy blue? How did this junior brother manage to refine it into black? Could it be a failed refinement? But the other party is offering help with good intentions." She couldn't say much. Can only bear the worry. She put it away, repeatedly expressing gratitude. "Thank you, junior brother. By the way, still don't know the junior brother's name. Sealed door. I will visit to express my gratitude another day." Fang Chen waved his hand. "My name is Fang Chen. There's no need for a formal visit to express thanks. Because I am a new disciple. I haven't joined a master yet." Su Qianing nodded. "Oh, so it was you, brother Fang." But right after that, her expression remained unchanged. "Wait a moment. She said she is a new disciple. There is still more. The method of refining the black soul bone nourishing ointment just now. It is also complex and profound. Many steps. She didn't understand the principle at all, without a wise teacher to guide. Can you do this step?" She claimed to be the master of the medicine wind. The hidden apprentice. She believes it all. Pian Fang Chen said, "I am a newcomer. There are still newcomers who haven't apprenticed yet. Say something unpleasant. Brought back by the elders. But thrown away in the square is the newcomer. They are all the rejected disciples. In the future, 99% will be outer disciples. Fang Chen is so outstanding. How did it come to this?" She really wanted to get to the bottom of it. A reminder sound that can be directly perceived came through. "Su Qianing, your time has come." Helplessness. She had no choice but to leave. Fang Chen also left carrying a lot of medicinal herbs. After Su Qianing's explanation, Jiaxi took away the high-grade medicinal alcohol. I can only enviously accept it. Dao Den Yao Kai. It is the direct gaze of the guardian of the medicinal formula. It may take a whole year to get alcohol. Su Qianing bids farewell to Fang Chen. Quickly hurried back to the pharmacy. "You're the last one needed." Yao Fingfang, the master. Wen Hongyao. It's an old jade over 70 years old. Stiff personality. Not fond of laughter. In front of her, a group of female disciples had already knelt down. Their assessment, without exception. Everything has failed. I saw Su Qianing return last. Wen Hongyao let out a soft hum. "Always dragging your feet." In the end, they all failed the assessment. How could I take such a fool as my apprentice? A scolding came down heavily and unexpectedly. Su Qianing's eyes turned red with grievance. With a heart-wrenching expression, she lowered her head, silent as a stone. The female disciples around also wore bitter expressions. It's not that they are foolish, but the master's requirements are too strict. Each time they are given assessments beyond their understanding. This left them with a deep sense of frustration. Mingming did not come to King Yan's sect. They are all highly talented in the local practice of alchemy. She has arrived under her name, but they all acted like useless trash. When Hanyao showed no sympathy at all. Instead, it became even harsher. Why are you crying? You have failed the assessment 9 times in a row. If this time also fails, that was the 10th time. According to my rules, must retreat for a year. Take out your assessment results. Su Qianing was suddenly startled and stood up. Hesitation at 3. Just took out this oddly dark black soul Zhu Gu bag. The female disciples looked. Could not help but sigh. This must be a failed experiment. Normally it is navy blue. Finished. The junior sister will be locked away for a year. She is still so young. How can you bear it? Wen Honyao also looked over with a stern face. But upon seeing this, she was taken aback. He strode over with thunderous steps. A stiff bone ointment was snatched away. Spread it out in the palm and examine it closely. In the dim yellow eyes, gradually showing traces of horror. Took a small breath. What a great accomplishment! I can't believe they can create such a high-grade bone marrow ointment. Ah, this is bone marrow ointment. The female disciples looked bewildered. Su Qianing was also horrified. Suddenly, a look of surprise appeared. In that case, I passed my assessment. Who would have thought? When Hanyao suddenly scolded sternly. Disobedient disciple, kneel down for me, will you? Sudden anger. Su Qianing was so frightened that she directly knelt on the ground. Only heard Wen Hanyao getting angrier and shouting, "You have great skills. I can't believe we managed to invite such a big shot. I will personally refine the premium black soul bone essence for you. Even a master might not be able to summon them. But ultimate black soul bone ointment." Su Qianing was stunned. "I will now officially part ways with you." Su Qianing was terrified. He never expected it. "I just asked a junior brother to help me refine some medicine. Who would have thought it would lead to such a disaster?" Gan Mang hurriedly explained. "Master, I didn't make excuses. I didn't invite any big shots, but asked a junior brother for help." Shitty. When Hanyao stared at Su Qianing, nearly in tears. "It doesn't seem like a lie." Could not help but show a face full of surprise and suspicion. "Are you sure he is your junior? When did our Kingian sect have such a powerful alchemy genius? Which letter is he? Who is your mentor?" I confronted him directly. He just doesn't believe it. I am the dignified master of the medicine seal. It's even worse than a certain sect leader's disciple who can refine medicine. If this gets out, he has no face left to continue being the Yao Feng master. Just let him have it. Su Qianing immediately stepped back. "Master, you misunderstood again. He is not one of the disciples, but rather a newcomer, not yet initiated as a disciple. What? Such an amazing alchemy genius. Yet he hasn't even joined a master's sect. This is ridiculous. It's like letting absurdity in through the door. Ridiculous to the core. If it were any other female disciple, to speak such absurd words, he had already slapped him out with one blow. But Su Qianing knows. I wouldn't dare lie in front of myself." This left Wen Honyao shocked. A genius alchemist thrown onto the square by a short-sighted elder. Is this perhaps heaven's way of allowing us to rise? There was a gifted disciple like this. Our medicine seal and enmity do not exceed others' seals. He became more and more excited as he thought about it. Displayed a warm, ant-like smile. Personally helped Su Qianing to her feet. "Qianing, What is this junior brother's name? Do you remember what he looked like? Su Qian curled up in surprise, worried about the selection of disciples for Elder Minju. If you can't enter the inner door, it's hard to find a day like today. Opportunity to gather medicinal herbs from the pharmacy. Until the herbs in hand are used up, this life flowers bloom. He could only stare helplessly. So, tomorrow will be the day that decides his fate. Just as he was about to meditate until dawn, suddenly bursts of exclamations erupted from the crowd. So beautiful! Which disciple is this? Simply a character from this world. And both are very beautiful. Speak a little quieter. That outfit is from Tianjin Feng. They are not to be messed with. In their astonished gazes, two women are searching through the square. Finally saw a stone tablet below. Feng Chen sitting cross-legged. Xiao Chen. Liu Ruxu wore a long green gown. Her figure is slender and graceful, a beauty that captivates nations and cities. Feng Chen. Chen Xiaoling, dressed in white like snow, untainted by dust. Her delicate and ethereal face resembled a summer white lotus. The eyes of the two women sparkled with brilliance. Rushed to Fang Chen's side. "How did you all come here?" Fang Chen exclaimed in surprise. Liu Ruxu leaped into his arms. "It's only been a day since we last met." He seemed as if they had been apart for a long time. Speaking softly, "I will accompany you with Si Ling." Chen Xiling shyly approached Fang Chen. The vast chest is completely occupied by Liu Ruxu. He could only gently hold her arm, cuddling together. "No matter the outcome tomorrow, Silin is all yours." Fang Chen was moved. He embraced her as well. This scene shattered the gaze of the disciples present. Let them bite down hard until their molars shatter. Let the third senior brother, Tian Jianfeng, who is responsible for protecting them. Ding Wanbing's brow furrowed. Finally, a few stunning female disciples from Tianjianfeng have arrived. He hasn't made a move yet. I was pushed by a useless nobody. Who are you? Dare to lightly pluck the edge of my heavenly sword, female disciple. Fang Chen looked out, looking at their attire. Then it is clear they are disciples of Tianjian Feng. His unmasked hostility. Fang Chen frowned. Not being polite right now. Duh. Liu Si Ling. Tell him. Who am I to you? So we don't have to keep nagging. Liu Ruxu greeted the approaching person with a slight bow. Da. Ding Shixin. This is my fiancé, Fang Chen. Chen Xiling is not as gentle as Liu Ruzu. Gave her a cold glance. Da. I am Feng Chen's concubine. This has nothing to do with brother Ding. Please do not disturb our time together as a couple. What? Ding Wanping found it hard to believe. Liu Ruxu, a breathtaking beauty with a delicate fragrance like thin clouds. Moreover, he is a top genius with a 7th-grade spiritual root. How could I be engaged to someone so undesirable? That's it, M. 6th-grade spiritual root, the stunning Chen Xiling. It turns out she is his concubine. Look at her expression. I enjoyed it very much. Why should that be? I am the third senior brother of Tianjian Feng. He is the third true disciple. She has not been blessed with the fortune of having two exceptionally beautiful women by her side. What is Fang Chen worth? She frowned. Chen Shen Dao? Fang Chen's eyes held a cold emptiness. Liu Ruxu and Chen Xiling have said everything that needs to be said. Still not giving up. What's even worse is, I also want to take this opportunity for a skin-to-skin contact. She acted decisively. A golden dragon strikes out. Ding Wanping laughed with anger. What is it? Dare to fight with a true disciple. She was just waiting for Fang Chen to take action. Just right to teach her a good lesson in front of two beauties. Let the beauties take a look. How incompetent my fiancé is. So she excitedly received the slack, dealing with a newcomer. As a true disciple. Isn't that an easy win? However, when both sides engage, Ding Wanping sensed an extraordinary dominance in the palm's power. She wanted to exert all her strength to resist. It's already late. Was knocked back and flew out on the spot. Sat down on the ground with a thud. In a terrible plight, the surrounding disciples were left dumbfounded. Only the senior disciples bully the newcomers. The newcomer bullies the senior disciple. It's still the first time. It's unbelievable. It's not said. Is the Tianjian Feng person not to be underestimated? Is she really a true disciple? That's so weak. Ding Wanping could hardly bear the humiliation. Self-esteemed true inheritance. I was unexpectedly beaten by a newcomer. Spread it out. Does she still care about her face? Fang Chen, you are looking for death. It's just weakness. It should show its brilliance. Don't be polite. Ding Wanping was extremely furious. Fang Chen didn't think much of her as a true disciple at all. She huffed in anger. Shaijian rushed over, drinking upside down. Let me teach you a lesson. Let me tell you what Qingyan sect is. What is it relying on to speak again? Lacking strength. Arrogant in Qingyan sect. The next match will be terrible. The elder disciples looked at Fang Chen, full of powerful compassion. Fang Chen remains fearless. Gripped the purple sword tightly, always ready to strike. However, at this moment, a wolf howl echoed through the air. Bai Zhai shi. I was just trying to scare him. Bai Zhai shot him a stern glare. Given that he is a direct disciple of the heavenly sword's true lineage. Did not delve deeply. Just hummed. The night market is about to open. Do not want to eat the punishment. Just be honest. Shuo Ba leads the team to continue the patrol. Ding Wanping clenched his fist. He spat. Really good at picking hands. Is it okay to come a little later? Actually, it's not just the square. The entire 9 peaks, including the peripheral Qingyan city. All private duels are prohibited. Once investigated. Conformity punishment. However, he is indeed a true disciple. Even if I really hit Fang Chen, will the sect still disdain a useless person like liking Feng and punish him, the elite disciple of this sect? Today's your lucky day. Ding Wanping said fiercely. Fang Chen put down the hilt of the sword, coldly staring at Ding Wanping. You're the lucky one. At this moment, a gust of wind suddenly swept down a group of disciples. They held bright lanterns, skillfully set up a stall in the square. Various items that he had acquired were placed on top. There are treasures obtained from outside adventures. There are also low-grade magical tools made by themselves. There are also some formidable inner disciples, selling one's cultivation experiences. A dazzling array of goods. Dazzling. Liu Ruxu and Chen Xiling both showed a look of curiosity. The nature of women loving to shop is fully revealed. Fang Chen felt ineffective upon seeing this. Da, let's go. I'll take you for a stroll. What do you like? I bought it for you. Since making the marriage pact with the two, he never gave a proper gift. Just right to buy one for each of them. The two women showed a look of anticipation. The gift is not important. It is important that who sent the gift? Yes, the frog in the well. You think of the night market in the Qingyan. Are you using gold, silver, and jewels? Ding Wanping couldn't help but laugh. It is gold and stone. 1,000 gold stones obtained from Zhu Gangli. There's no place to spend you. Let's go. Don't worry, just buy it. I have gold and stone. He wrapped his arms around the shoulders of the two women. Entering the night market, Ding Wanping chuckled. It's really just putting on a brave face. Two junior sisters. What do you think is promising? Let me treat you this time, senior brother. This useless fiancé. Just sweet talk you all. The two women angrily turned around and glared at him. Exceptionally annoying. Modai. Liu Ruxu accidentally saw a blue long sword of the Zhongbing method. The sword is lightweight, carving simplicity, regardless of rank or style. Much better than what the Tianjian Fengfa can offer. Good. Senior brother bought it for you. Xuanji asked the stall owner. How much is this sword? The vendor is wearing a hat. Clearly has a special identity. I don't want to be recognized. Arrived. 200 gold stones. How much? Ding Wanping ate a pound. Arrived. A sword strikes the balance of the law. At most, 50 pieces of gold. Why are you quoting 200? As a true disciple, he can receive gold and stones from Qingyan sect every month. It's only 100 coins. Let him spend 200 coins. Aiao Liu Ruxu. He asked himself if he could do it. The vendor didn't even lift his head. You're very welcome. And am I. Don't buy, roll away. Ding Wanping has never endured such humiliation. Kedao. Layazi is the sky sword Feng Ding Wanping. Please repeat what you just said. Who would have thought? The vendor scoffed disdainfully. I don't care what you are. If you don't have money, then get lost. Ding Wanping gritted his teeth, suddenly felt embarrassed in front of the two women. The night market is definitely not a place for violence. He could only vent his anger on Fang Chen. Exactly. Fang Chen also revealed a playful smile, angrier than ever. What are you laughing at? You look like a bloated face, chubby person. As if we could afford it. Fang Chen shrugged. He pulled out 20 medium-grade gold stones from his pocket. Thrown on the stall. Sword. I want it. Zhang Binjin Shi. The vendor was taken aback and let out a joyful sound. This sword is yours now. He raised his hand and threw the blue longsword to Fang Chen. Then wash out the hope, erasing the mid-grade gold and stone. These days, you can buy things with Zhangbin Jinshi, either rich or noble. This junior brother, you are really extravagant. Unlike a certain senior disciple, poor and destitute. Ding Wanping's face turned blue and red. He never expected that. Fang Chen is a newcomer. There are actually so many gold and stones. And it's still available on the market. Rare mid-grade gold stone. Jinshi is divided into 3 grades, upper, middle, and lower. Among them, noble gold and stone can be exchanged. 10 pieces of mid-grade gold and stone. Zhangping gold and stone can be exchanged. 10 inferior gold and stone pieces. But the stones of medium quality and above, infused with rich spiritual energy, usually used by the Wuzhen for cultivation, very few people are willing to take. Exchange medium-grade gold stones for low-grade gold stones. Trading for money. Even rarer. He spoke in a sarcastic tone. Luxurious. It's a big loss. The ritual implements of 50 gold stones. Spent 200. Foolish people have a lot of money. Fang Chen clenched his jaw. Just admit it honestly if you don't have money. What does it matter? Do you really think? This medium-grade magical artifact. Only that little bit just now. Is there something special about King Guang? Although it was fleeting. But Fang Chen still discovered it. The power of this sword. Like snow. Take care. He grasped the light sword, demonstrated the 7-star sword technique on the spot. During the performance, The light sword continuously emitted a soft glow. Once the light reaches a certain quantity, as he thrust his sword forward, the light mirror is locked in place by the tip of the sword. It hit straight ahead with a thud. A slight explosion occurred. Liu Ruxu gasped and covered her mouth. The soft light released from the sword can attack the enemy. Fang Chen nodded slightly. There's even more. These faint lights seem to have a locking effect on the enemy, can pursue continuously, causing a significant amount of trouble for the enemy. In actual combat, definitely a magical artifact. I'm sorry, but I can't assist with that. The vendor couldn't help but clap, admiring Fang Chen, young and youthful. Your eyesight is really that good. And your swordsmanship is quite impressive. The swordsmanship just now, although it can't be considered very clever. But you have completely grasped the essence. We sealed May old disciples. I'm afraid no one understands swordsmanship as deeply as you do. When the expert makes a move, just know the other person's background. Fang Chen casually demonstrated his swordsmanship. It surprised him greatly. I wonder which esteemed master this junior disciple belongs to. Such a remarkable talent. Why have I never seen it before? He finally noticed. The two women beside Fang Chen, all are heavenly sword wind attire, unavoidably jealous. Could it be a disciple of the Sky Sword sect? It shouldn't be like this. Apart from that sword training fanatic on the heavenly sword peak, the rest are all useless. There's no one like you. Ding Wanping, who was shot innocently, unable to endure any longer. Who are you cursing at? The vendor looked at Ding Wanping. He took off his hat, revealed her appearance. He is very handsome. A young male disciple with a hint of cynicism, about 25 years old, glaring contemptuously at Ding Wanping. I'm scolding you. Have an opinion. Just now, Ding Wanping was full of momentum. Upon seeing this person's face, was taken aback. Gong Sun Nan. How come it's you? Gong Sun Nan snorted. I know it's you. Get lost already. Ding Wanping showed a deep sense of apprehension. With a firm resolution, not even a harsh word could be uttered, immediately turned and left. Fang Chen looked at him in surprise. Could it be? This person is quite formidable. Chen Silin, on the side, was excited, pulled on Fang Chen's sleeve. Gong Sun Nan, we encountered each other on the first day. Gong Sun Nan, one of the top 10 disciples of the King Yun sect. As a businessman, he, regarding various information, clearly much sharper than Liu Ruxu, just arrived at Tianjin Peak. He specifically inquired about the news from various sects. Among them, there is the ranking of the 10 disciples. Gong Sun Nan stared at Fang Chen with a hint of displeasure. Da, Lopekyu, it seems you don't recognize me. It shouldn't be like this. Am I really that unknown? Fang Chen quickly clasped his hands in greeting. Sword, the senior brother. I am a new disciple, not familiar with the sect yet. I apologize for any impertinence. Please forgive me. Newcomer. Gong Sun Nan was taken aback. Oh my goodness. This year's newcomers are quite fierce. Just joined the sect. The swordsmanship is just that strong. Gives you a few years. I have to stand aside. He couldn't help but feel envious. Which elder got lucky? I accept you as my disciple. This is well said. Fang Chen rolled his eyes. Thou, I have not yet entered the sect. Waiting for the elders to make their selection tomorrow. If you're lucky enough, perhaps we can enter a certain letter. Gong Sun Nan's jaw almost dropped in shock. You were not taken back to Fengsheng. He glanced at the attire of the two women beside him. The Wei, elder like King Feng will take you back to King Yun sect, but did not take you as a disciple. let you fend for yourself, although it's a bit embarrassing. But this is a fact. Fang Chen nodded lightly. Ida, when did elder Li's eyesight become so poor? Gong San Nan covered his forehead in disbelief. Such a talented swordsman. He actually didn't want it. Immediately, a look of surprise appeared on his face. He grasped Fang Chen's wrist. Let's go. Come back with me to the carefree realm. My master sees you as a swordsmanship genius. I'll absolutely treat you like a treasure. Liu Ruxu and Chen Xiling were stunned. Xiao Feng, you can still stumble upon an opportunity. Truly unexpected. Wait a moment. But immediately after that, Gong Sun Nan slapped his forehead. You look at me. You are selected as a representative to choose new candidates. You cannot privately become a disciple. We must wait for the elders to select together tomorrow. What is your name? Fan Chen, Gong Sun Nan said with sweaty palms. Good. I will go back and tell the master. You are waiting to join my carefree realm. Fang Chen felt relieved. Thank you, senior brother Gong Sun, for the promotion. Gong Sun Nan waved his hand. With such a swordsmanship, heaven and earth are intertwined. Every breeze is precious. But fortunately, only I have discovered your extraordinary nature. Hey, see you tomorrow. I am looking forward to it. You who is unwanted, when showcasing swordsmanship talent before many elders. What are their expressions? Ah, watching him leave with a big laugh. Fang Chen's mood took a long time to settle down. He continued to take the good girl shopping. Unfortunately, I haven't come across anything as good as King Jian again. Commander, I'll find a suitable gift for you next time. Fang Chen Dao. Commander Chen's eyes turned. Da, Chua, I heard that our Kingyun sect holds a trading conference every month. Only supports one item at a time. By the way, Zhangbin and Shangbin gold stones. It's also considered cargo. There are even more good things inside. Fang Chen nodded slightly. After clarifying the date, he took the good woman back to the stone tablet, silently sitting cross-legged, waiting for dawn. Tian Jian Feng. Janet. Ding Wanping kicked over the stone bench. Full of anger, Zhang Qizhen said cautiously, Chickton, aren't you with the two junior sisters? Don't mention it. Ding Wanping patted the table. Tell what just happened again. Zhang Qizhen became angry. This Fang Chen really isn't a good person. Even senior brother Lion dares to offend. Senior brother, don't worry. Tomorrow I will make him pay. Ding Wanping cursed without a reason. There won't be any problems, right? Tomorrow is the elder's disciples' selection day. If he makes a mistake, what will we do if the elders ask? Zhang Qizhen laughed heartily. Shikshen, what are you thinking? What is he? Which elder knows him? Don't worry. I will never give him the chance to meet the elders. Completely cut off his chances of being favored by a certain elder. Ding Wanping thought carefully and agreed. Liking Feng's discarded items. Who else would want the remaining elders? He died and no one knew. One day, Tiananmen, as the daylight brightened, the square gradually became lively. A group of newly initiated disciples placed in the square, waiting for the elders' selection. What if I could catch the elders' eye? They rose to great heights effortlessly. From then on, he became a high-ranking inner disciple. Otherwise, the outer disciples will never see the light of day. Xiao Chen, don't be nervous. Liu Ruxu said softly. Gong Sun Nan thinks highly of you. Rest assured, there won't be any problems. Chen Xiling leaned happily against his shoulder. Yeah, if you can't enter the inner gate. That's truly unjust. Both of them relied on Feng Chen to sneak into the inner gate. It doesn't make sense that Fang Chen ended up falling behind. Fang Chen embraced the two. A faint smile. I will do my best. Mo died. A disciple dressed in reward and punishment attire walked over. He said with a straight face, "You are Fang Chen. I heard you trespassed into the female disciple's spirit pool yesterday. Come with me for a trip. I have something to ask you." Fang Chen was taken aback. "Da, this is a misunderstanding," the disciple said coldly. "I will give you a chance to explain." Fang Chen felt a bit helpless. "Da, all right." Liu Ruxu and Chen Xiling's expressions changed slightly. "We will go with you. Such matters." Fang Chen felt embarrassed to let the two women know. Moreover, the realm of rewards and punishments is a place of strict severity. They can't go in either. "No need. You wait again. I'll be right back." He followed the rewards and punishments closely, unwilling to leave the disciple behind. However, gradually, Feng Chen sensed something was off. He did not take himself to the reward and punishment platform, but instead walked to a remote place with few people. "Where are you taking me?" Feng Chen stopped in his tracks. The sound of the bell rang out. Brush, on top of the tree. Suddenly a figure jumped down. He held a long knife. He struck fiercely at Fang Chen. Fang Chen, always prepared. Without hesitation, they activated their movement technique. A string of lingering shadows stepped back several paces. The shadow above missed its target. "Show your true face." "Zhang Tizhen." Fang Chen's eyes revealed a hint of cold indifference. "I guessed it was you. If I'm not mistaken, yesterday Liu Yang tricked me into going to the women's spirit pool. You were also instructed by him, right?" Zhang Qizhen let out a cold laugh. The disciple waved his hand as he rushed to the penalty spot. The other party glanced at Fang Chen. Silent departure. Clearly, he was also instructed by Zhang Qizhen. "I tricked Fang Chen to come here." "So what?" Zhang Qizhen smiled and said, "I said, a lonely boat city, I cannot do anything to you. At King Yen sect, killing you is as easy as flipping a hand." Fang Chen smiled faintly. "Is it just based on you, a defeated opponent?" Zhang Qizhen suddenly recalled that duel on the Kichai continent. The furious flames danced in his eyes. "That is sparring. I held back a few tricks. It fell carelessly to the ground below. I really thought I could assist with a 3-layer attack. Can you still ride on my head? Let me show you my true strength," with the thought of avenging past humiliations. He swung his blade towards Fang Chen. 5 tigers' soul-cutting blade. Fang Chen took a look. Bai and slightly shook his head. "No skill at all. Bai pointed at you. This time, he doesn't even use a sword anymore. Picked up a twig casually. Fulan, then I'll use this to teach you a lesson today. Lonely Heart Warehouse." Zhang Qizhen's face was scratched by a branch. Dig out a patch of blood sting. Burning pain. Zhang Qizhen was filled with rage. "You're asking for death." He swung the big knife, completely ready to kill Fang Chen. Zhou Zhao was ruthless. Fang Chen's eyes turned cold. No mercy left. 3 hearts illuminating the moon. Zhang Qizhen let out a terrible scream. A branch pierced one of the eyeballs. "I want you dead. I want you dead." He shouted wildly as he danced with his sword. But these were in front of Fang Chen, yet tender like a baby. Simply cast the 7 stars towards the north. A branch struck him and sent him flying. The long knife in hand slipped away. Zhang Qizhen covered his eyes, which were bleeding profusely. Yuan Du shouted, "What are you waiting for?" He chopped him up to satisfy his appetite. Swish, swish, swish. As the voice faded away, Several foreign disciples close to 30 years old. They jumped down from the tree one after another. Their cultivation levels are all quite high. At least it's the third layer of foundation building. Building a strong foundation on the fourth level. There are exactly 9 people. Fang Chen's heart sank. Unless the purple arrow is used. Otherwise, it will be difficult to resolve quickly. The other party is equally straightforward. 9 people immediately rushed forward. Fang Chen displayed his agility. Struggling hard against them, Zhang Qizhen realized that he couldn't kill Fang Chen right away. No rush. I'll bet on it, he muttered. Don't rush. Slowly wear him down. Zhang Qizhen laughed angrily. You trapped him to death like this. I went to the pharmacy to treat my glasses. Enduring the intense pain, he ran to the pharmacy. Passing by the square, indeed, many elders were seen. The disciples have already been chosen. Preparing to leave, outside the square, Liu Ruxu and Chen Xiling, but was anxious as if on fire. Zhang Qizhen walked over with a cold smile. Ru Zhu, junior sister. Xiling Shaimai, you should give up. Fang Chen will never become a disciple of that school in this lifetime. Liu Ruxu's expression changed slightly. Immediately realized that Fang Chen had just been taken away. It might be a conspiracy. It was you who did it. Where is Fang Chen? Where is he? Seeing Liu Ruxu so anxious, Zhang Kai felt at ease in his heart. He laughed and said, when this waste brought me shame, it should have been thought of today. This is King Yun sect. This is my territory. Chen Xiling was extremely anxious. Spoke coldly. I'm going to report this to my master. Zhang Qizhen was no longer afraid. Pan Shu Dao, you need to hurry up then. It's too late to say. The elders have all left. Bang! The gentle rain fell quickly and fiercely. Even if they seek justice for Fang Chen, what difference does it make? That was a long time later. Fang Chen could no longer be selected by the elders. You baby. Liu Ruxu said hatefully. Zhang Qizhen licked his lips. With a smile that seemed both real and fake, they said, I want Fang Chen to come over quickly. It's not impossible, right? Kneel and beg me. I spit. Chen Xiling expressed her disdain. Less disgusting wishes. Such a person. Even if they really kneeled down, he couldn't possibly bring Fang Chen over. Zhang Qizhen smiled instead of getting angry. Then you all just wait for Fang Chen. Being an outer disciple for a lifetime, there are no elders at all. Would know of his existence. At this moment, from the Fei Qin on Zioyao Peak, Gongsun Nan, who stood beside the peak leader, scratched his head. Dao, strange. Where are you? He has already looked around the crowd several times. I couldn't see Fang Chen's shadow at all. The carefree peak master murmured beside me. You must be drunk. Lift a big rock. It's like seeing a genius. Gongsun Nan had a dark expression. Is the disciple really that confused? Mo Dai. He suddenly saw 2 beautiful women on the edge of the crowd. Suddenly filled with joy, he addily jumped off the bird, rushed to Liu Ruxu and Chen Xiling. Surprise said, 2 junior sisters. Fang Chen, hurry and let him out. My master didn't sleep a wink all night, just waiting to accept him as a disciple. Zhang Qizhen laughed on the side. The expression suddenly froze. He swallowed hard. Junior brother in the King Yen sect. Is there really anyone who could do anything to him? This is the King Yen sect. Who dares to act recklessly in the sect? Liu Ruxu pointed angrily at Zhang Qizhen. Dao. He instructed a person from the rewards and punishments shop. Fang Chen was tricked away. Still refuses to tell us. The whereabouts of Fang Chen. What? Gongsun Nan's expression instantly darkened, slowly turned his head, coldly staring at Zhang Qijin. A chill escaped from my lips. "Are you that impressive? The person I, Zhao Yao Feng, have set my sights on. You dare to frame me?" Zhang Qijin trembled uncontrollably. "Before me are the top 10 disciples renowned in Kinyan's sect. The strength is formidable. A single finger could crush him. The family behind it, even more beyond imagination." Zhang Qijin stammered, "I don't know either. Fang Fangchen is the person you are interested in." Gongsun Nan slowly approached. A face was almost touching the tip of his nose. "Cold path. Where is he? Is it something you can't tell me either?" This clock scared Kai Zhen so much that he lost his soul. "Hurry and speak. I'll lead the way. I'll lead the way." He felt extremely anxious, quickly blocked the path back. At this very moment, he hoped more than anyone that Fang Chen wouldn't make a mistake. Otherwise, what are the consequences? He didn't even dare to think about it. Bong Sun Nan followed behind him, soon arrived at that secluded road. I saw it from afar. Fang Chen held a branch, with 9 outer sect disciples of equal cultivation, fought to a standstill. It's clearly just an ordinary branch. In his hands it flows with remarkable skill. This delighted Gongsun Nan immensely. Fang Shidi's swordsmanship mastery, simply outstanding. This junior apprentice, I have decided, at the night market, Fang Chen just temporarily equipped a set of swordsman gear. Now is the time to give it our all. Thus, the swordsmanship was fully demonstrated. Let Gongsun Nan be amazed. Zhang Qijin hurriedly drank it all down. "Stop. Everyone stop." The 9 outer gate disciples looked fierce. When seeing Gongsun Nan, everyone was scared stiff. Fang Chen also noticed Gongsun Nan at this moment, and the rushed arrival of Liu Ruxu and Chen Silin, knowing that there is still a chance. "Thank you, senior brother Gongsun. There's no time to waste. I'm heading back to the square now. We can't keep Master Zioia waiting too long." A group hurried back to the square. Liking Feng has already picked one out. "Barely competent disciple. Watching my friend Zioia Feng hasn't made his choice yet. Come closer and say, 'Lao Zhou.' Just pick one, although they are all unrecognized talents. But who can change the rules of our sect? Every breeze must choose a newcomer. Actually, elders of almost every wind. For the newcomers in the square, they all look down on it. The reason is none other than newlyweds left in the square. They are all abandoned by the elders who look down on them. The probability of good seedlings inside, almost zero. Zio Yao Feng Master Zhao Wuji, with a smile on their face. Gong Sun Nan, that kid. They found an exceptional newcomer. Please, I must be accepted as your disciple." Lai Qingfeng looked astonished. "No way. Due to your disciple Gongsun Nan's cultivation level, are there any other outstanding newcomers? Can be rated by him as top-notch. I just received 2 6th-grade awards. Kaipen Ling Jian. He might not even consider it top-notch. Which elder is so careless, losing such an outstanding talent?" Zhao Wuji was quite pleased with himself. He quietly glanced at the people around him. The elder has not yet chosen a disciple. Whispered, "If you didn't choose a disciple, I still don't dare to tell you. So you won't compete with me." Gong Sun Nan said, "This person's swordsmanship talent. Above him, future swordsmanship mastery, never inferior to him." But Lai Qingfeng was astonished. Gong Sun Nan is a powerful master of swordsmanship. He has no chance left. "Lao Zhou, you are really lucky. Such a big mistake can still be caught by you." Lai Qingfeng was envious. However, I would really like to know which elder misjudged this disciple. Wait a moment. He shouldn't regret that his eldest son has already cleared up. Zhao Wuji chuckled darkly. God knows which eye is blind. Leave such a precious treasure to me, Xiaoya Feng. At this moment, he saw Gongsun Nan returning with people from afar. Couldn't help but stand up. Da, here it comes. Lai Qingfeng quickly looked over as Gongsun Nan brought the person forward. Lai Qingfeng, the main character, Fang Chen. Zhao Wuji laughed heartily. That's right. The deceased child is named Fang Chen. Wait a moment. How do you know his name? Lai Qingfeng showed a strange expression. Lao Zhou, you mentioned the swordsmanship genius. It must be him. Zhao Wuji also realized something. Astonished, he said, Lao Lai, this disciple is one you do not want. Ah. Lai Qingfeng suddenly smiled. Patting Zhao Wuji's shoulder, he said, Lao Zhao, are you trying to make me laugh to death? After a long while, the swordsmanship genius you mentioned is him. Gongsun Nan below had a fierce expression. Elder Lai, I discovered Fang Chen's talent in swordsmanship. Is something wrong? Lai Qingfeng smiled and said, Then you ask him again. When I tested his spiritual roots, what is the result? Zhao Wuji and Gongsun Nan both looked at Fang Chen. Such strong talent in swordsmanship. How weak can one's spiritual roots become? At least it's a low-quality spiritual root. Fang Chen said calmly. The results may not be accurate. Lai Qingfeng suddenly straightened up. Aren't you mute? Fang Chen Dao. Just like now. What Elder Lai saw. Not necessarily true. Lai Qingfeng let out a shout. I can't be bothered with why Fang Chen is pretending to be mute. Huh? Sorry, I can't say that. Then let me answer for you. His test results are no spiritual root. Zhao Wuji and Gongsun Nan. At the same time, the main character. No spiritual roots. Lai Qingfeng chuckled lightly. Otherwise, why I refused his apprenticeship. Perhaps he has seen some talent. But a person without a spiritual root, how far can one go on the path of martial arts? Lao Zhou, you are cautious. Zhao Huajai hesitated. Recognizing talent is very important. But for a martial artist, the spiritual root is the foundation. Should I accept it or not? Liu Ruxu and Chen Silin, who believed they held the holy token. His face looked a bit unpleasant. Fang Chen couldn't help but clench his fist tightly. Isn't it? I still feel regret for my own failures. Zhang Qizhen let out a long sigh. Fortunately, this guy wasn't pressured with the elder's help. Otherwise, once an elder supports him, what he just did, that's enough to get him executed by the sect. However, at this moment, Su Qianing, who had also been searching for Fang Chen's figure for a long time, noticing the commotion here, with a sweep of this, suddenly screamed in surprise. Master, it's him. It's him. When Han Yao spotted Fang Chen at a glance, delighted, the rider on the white crane charged forward, pushed Zhao Wuji and Lai Qingfeng apart. Zhao Wuji, Lai Qingfeng, everyone get out of my way. This disciple, I am going to seal the medicine. Who stole it? Who am I squeezing in with? The indecisive Zhao Wuji, forced to be pushed aside, unconsciously startled. Dao. Elder Wen, what are you doing? Wen Hongyao said with a stern face. Can't you understand? I want to take Fang Chen as my disciple. Go that way. Don't be a nuisance. Zhao Wuji was completely puzzled, looking at Lai Qingfeng in surprise. Lao Lai, you didn't trick me, did you? If he has no spiritual roots, Is Elder Wen really that powerful? Lai Qingfeng also had a look of astonishment. I saw a ghost. Why is everyone fighting over the useless person he looks down on? Results of the rootless detection. It must be correct. Lai Qingfeng is certain. Zhao Wuji was puzzled. What made his eyes widen even more? Has always had a bad temper. Wen Hanyao, who is very strict with his disciples. It's like having taken the wrong medicine. A smile appeared on his face, the strangely gentle expression of the elders. Fang Chen, Pama, join me, I want the wind. The wind master accepts you as a disciple. Note, Elder Wen, I was the first to notice Sai. You should first pay respects to my carefree style. Fang Chen, come to my carefree wind. The wind master personally guides your swordsmanship. Never let your talent go to waste. The person who can make Wen Hanyao open the immortal river of Qingyan sect. How bad can it really be? Must grab it. Wen Hanyao was suddenly struck. Da, it has become a vegetable market. Whoever sees it first, it's theirs. Is it reasonable? I will take on a disciple first. He should return the wind to me. Zhao Wuji hummed. It's you who is being unreasonable. I am negotiating apprenticeship arrangements. You just barged in. Wen Hanyao's temper is not willing to back down either. Draw the sword from my waist. I will poke you to death, you old shrew. The two were on edge, swords drawn, to compete for Fang Chen. It was to tear apart the elder's dignity. In front of many new disciples, a fierce fight broke out. This unprecedented scene, the remaining elders were left speechless in shock. Even a disciple with a sixth-grade spiritual root. It shouldn't have led to such a dispute between the two elders. Just as the great battle was about to break out, Liu Qingxian is also searching everywhere for Fang Chen's whereabouts. Surprised, he said, Dad, it's him. It's him. Qingyan sect master Liu Wenqing sits cross-legged, sitting on a white crane. I followed my daughter's surprised gaze. It fell upon the disciples caught in the dispute between the two elders. Dumbfounded. You have your eyes on him. Didn't Elder Lai say? He has no spiritual roots. You let father accept him as a disciple. Liu Qingxian said anxiously, Dad, do you believe in your daughter? It's not wrong to take him in. Liu Wenqing frowned slightly. Not very willing. Elder Wen accepted him. He probably possesses some talent for alchemy. Elder Zhao accepted him. It is due to his innate talent for swordsmanship. But I, the sect master, Feng. What is needed is a talented individual with extraordinary spiritual roots. He is not suitable for my sect leader's style. Just as the two elders were about to take action, Fang Chen is about to be taken in by one of the elders. Liu Qingxian gritted her teeth. Summon a flying crane to jump up. Then they arrived promptly at the two elders' center. Wait a moment. He greeted with a voice. Meet the sect master's daughter. Wen Hong should be a bit more polite. Dao, Liu Xianzi, step aside. I want to tidy up this old thing. Zhao Wuji hummed as well. Qingxian, don't stop him, Uncle Zhao. I want to teach this shrew a lesson. Little did they know, Liu Qingxian shot a glance at them. Who wants to advise you? If you love to fight, go to the side and fight. Don't hurt my junior apprentice. King Chen Rong Mao smiled. Chang Fengshen extended her jade-like hand. Come on, follow me back to the sect leader Fang. What, now no one can stay calm? Yao Feng and Zhao Yao Feng are just fighting over Fang Chen. The suzerain Feng unexpectedly joined the competition. Liu Ruxu and Chen Xiling were both confused. What's so good about Fang Chen? So much medicine has been taken by the wind. Liu Ruxu was bewildered. Chen Xiling couldn't wrap her head around it, although she knew, as Fang Chen's Sangsing sole identity, even if the winds come to compete, it is not for the fruit. But this identity cannot be exposed. So why do they favor Fang Chen so much? However, she soon revealed a sweet smile, as expected of our husband. Wherever you go, you are the center of attention. Lai King is going crazy. Zhang Jufeng has gone mad too. Surprisingly, they also came out to snatch Fang Chen. She reminded Liu Xianzi Fang Chen has no spiritual roots. Be careful. Liu Qingxian glanced at her. A flicker of crimson flashed in his eyes. 9-rank spiritual root. It is not an existence that surpasses the 9-tier spiritual roots. I can't believe you've determined that I have no spiritual root. None of your business. Xuanji once again cast a warm smile at Fang Chen. What are you waiting for? Zhang Jufeng is the strongest of Qingyan sect. All resources are top-notch. Fang Chen's heart suddenly stirred. When Han Yao and Zhao Wuji immediately refused to comply. Liu Xianzi means Fairy Liu. You also want to take away the person who brings me the wind. When Han Yao was anxious in his heart, Zhao Wuji never expected. What's going on with this Fang Chen? Ming Ming until yesterday. Still the unwanted eliminated disciple. Why did even the sect master Feng come over to compete today? Qingxian, why are you competing with Uncle Zhao? Zhang Liu Wenchen, her brow furrowed slightly, riding a white crane as it flies in. Soft reprimand. Qingxian, stop messing around. My sect leader Feng cannot randomly accept disciples. He glanced at the Grand Elder not far away without leaving a trace. The Grand Elder has recruited an exceptionally powerful new disciple. The suzerain has not yet found a suitable candidate. How can I allocate the precious disciple slots? Wasting on a soulless being. Liu Qingxian knew she could no longer hide it. Lower your voice. Whispering Path. Dad, Fang Chen is not without spiritual roots. He is the 9th-rank spiritual root of Guizhou City, Liu Wenchen said in surprise. Deputy Sect Master Chen didn't personally conduct the inspection. Is it a misunderstanding? Liu Qingxian also showed a look of confusion. The person being tested is named Lu Zhang. Why does the test show that he has a 9th-grade spiritual root? I don't know either. But this person definitely has a 9th-grade spiritual root. It may even be the legendary Wuzhou Lingjin. Limitless spiritual root. Liu Wenchen shook his head with a smile. You really dare to speak, huh? The supreme spirit root requires lineage inheritance. Only parents are extremely powerful. Only in future generations is there a slight chance of being born with a Wuji spiritual root. This is called Fang Chen, born in the small town of Guizhou. It can't be the Wuji spiritual root. Liu Qingxian also lost her confidence, but he firmly believed that Fang Chen's talent was extraordinary. But I witnessed him breaking through several levels consecutively, much stronger than my 7th-grade spiritual root. Lai Qingfeng heard these words. He had to come out and explain himself, to prevent everyone from truly thinking that Lai Qingfeng is blind. Eliminate a disciple stationed at the 3rd level of the base. Zhangju Liu Xianzi. What you may not know is, the death of the child was a result of overextending potential to achieve a breakthrough. Therefore, the initial training progressed quickly. But later, I dare say, he will stay at the 3rd floor of Yuji for his entire life, unable to move forward any further. This confirmed Liu Wenchen's suspicions. Slowly sweating palms, I heard it. It's just a crooked method. Liu Qingxian lightly bit her red lips, full of discontent. Cultivation is a crooked path. What about the performance of that dragon's path? Never has there been such a powerful and devious method in the world. Let a useless person without spiritual roots. Nangon Leayan can defeat the 13th layer. He originally wanted to say this as well, but seeing my father's complete lack of trust in me, could not help but hold my breath. He just wants to prove it to his father. There is nothing wrong with oneself. Liu Wenchen had no intention of continuing to play around with him. The way is clear. This time our sect leader Fang will not collect. The two elders continued. As soon as the words were spoken, Liu Qingxian suddenly bit her silver teeth. Kaio Sheng said, Dad, Fang Cheng and I have already made a lifelong commitment. If you don't take him as your disciple, just wait for his daughter to elope with him. Liu Wenchen's pupils constricted. Immediately realized that my daughter was lying. The character of one's own daughter. He still understands. Pride in purity, dedicated to the martial way, never add color to men. The young master of Tangi Pavilion is crazily pursuing. He never gave him a good face. How could it be possible to be unclear with a poor boy? Who would have thought? Liu Qingxian twirled her fingers around the embroidery on her chest. Zhao Fengcheng was furious at the servant's words. If you don't believe it, ask him. Yesterday we were at the spirit pool. Is it the case of meeting face to face? He said half truthfully, meeting face to face. Liu Wenchen's heart skipped a beat. He whispered sharply, How could you possibly do something like this? Don't think you can deceive your father. You can tell he is nervous. Liu Qingxian showed a shy expression. He has an infinite spirit root. I dedicate myself to you. It is also to keep him. It is for the sake of King Yun's well-being. For Dad, it's good. Oh my! Liu Wenchen felt the world spinning around him. Almost fell headfirst off the white crane. His proud daughter, unexpectedly giving innocence to a useless one without spiritual roots. This left him with no face to meet others in the future. At that moment, Liu Qingxian delivered another strike. Dad, if you don't take him as your apprentice. The daughter could only elope with him. At that time, I won't be able to hide my relationship with him anymore. Hearing this, Liu Wenchen suddenly felt suffocated. Family shame should not be aired publicly. He would rather die than let anyone know about this, especially the Grand Elder. Otherwise, he would once again become the tool for the Grand Elder to slander him as an incapable leader. The only plan for now is to keep the equation behind closed doors. Make sure to keep an eye on him to prevent him from running out and speaking carelessly, leaking the matter, in case the truth comes out later. He can also do it during the time when they were mentor and mentee. Good feelings established a lifetime as an excuse. Eliminate external public opinion. In an instant, he thought of many aspects. So when looking at the equation again, the expression was unusually complicated. After 20 years of hard work, there is finally a good crop of cabbage. The anger of being gored by a pig. There is also the helplessness of worrying about scandals being exposed. Finally swallowed down various feelings of unwillingness. Revealed a full array of colors. Dao Fengcheng appreciates you highly. The sect leader has decided to give you a chance to showcase your abilities. Are you willing to take me as your master? Even a fool knows. The status of the sect master's disciple is a notch higher than that of the wind master. He no longer hesitates, bowing down in reverence. Disciple Fang Cheng pays respects to the master. Wen Han was so frustrated that she stomped her feet. This is cheating. Yao Wuji looked completely helpless. Ah, the sect leader is personally getting involved. What do I have to fight with? I'm sorry, but I can't assist with that. At that moment, someone started clapping. He was covered in ash. Unyielding authority without anger. The gaze was sharp as if it were that of an eagle. It is not the Grand Elder Feng Gu of the Qingyan sect. Who is it again? He clapped with a smile that didn't reach his eyes. The sovereign has a unique insight. To accept a disciple without a spiritual root. This elder admires. Admiration. Our Qingyan sect has someone like you, the disciple with exceptional vision. It is a blessing for the sect. Sarcastic mockery. Let Liu Wenqin's face lose its luster. He forced himself to appear calm. Tao, Elder Dot is mistaken. The spiritual root is just one part of a martial artist. An equation may not necessarily lead to failure. Liu Qingxian certainly isn't as cold-blooded as her father. You're welcome, HMPH. Don't worry. My father's disciples. You can't even block a horse. The Grand Elder laughed heartily. Is that so? Among the new disciples I've received this time, but there was a prodigy with a 7th grade spiritual root. Are you trying to say? He is not even better than this talentless martial arts loser. Liu Qingxian raised her blooded neck. Tao, that's right. The elders exchanged glances at each other. I don't understand what's wrong with Liu Qingxian. I can't believe they have such high hopes for someone without a spiritual root. Beside the Grand Elder, a young boy standing with an apologetic expression in his arms, a defiant gaze, extraordinary temperament. Upon hearing these words, the glimmer of spiritual energy shone in his eyes. Sister Liu, my name is Cao Zhen, 7th rank spiritual root. It turns out he is the top genius selected by the Grand Elder. Learned of his 7th grade spiritual root. The elders all showed expressions of envy. Cao Zhen looked at Liu Qingxian, revealed feelings of affection. He didn't care any more. What do you want to say? Liu Qingxian said quietly. Cao Zhen smiled ambiguously. Sister Liu looks down on me so much. I think I'm even worse than a rootless, useless person. The junior disciple was quite unconvinced. Exactly half a month later, it will be the new disciples, the day of worshipping the ancestor of Qingyan sect. As per tradition, the new disciples will compete against each other in front of the ancestral master in 10 categories. When the time comes, I want to spar a bit with this junior Fang. Everyone watched Cao Zhen with great interest. It seems he has some intentions. Indeed. Cao Zhen smiled and said, if I win the equation you believe in, could I ask Sister Liu to accompany me under the flowers and the moon? 3 drinks for toasting. It's an apology for underestimating me. Goodness! Unexpectedly teased Liu Qingxian in public. Eldest elder's lineage. He really doesn't take the sect leader seriously. A newly accepted disciple, daring to act recklessly in public. Liu Wenqin's brow revealed a hint of spiritual power. Just about to scold, Liu Qingxian slightly curled her lips. Slightly smiling, they said, what if the equation wins? What? Liu Qingxian actually plans to take on the bet. He probably doesn't know what kind of cultivation Cao Zhen has. Liu Wenqin's expression changed slightly. She whispered, Qingxian, don't be fooled. Just a mere new disciple. Who would dare to tease the daughter of the sect leader? It's clear that this is instigated by the Grand Elder. We need to show the sect leader who's in charge. Liu Qingxian, however, was full of confidence in Fang Cheng. Spoke in a low voice. Then, this is the perfect opportunity to turn things around. The Grand Elder takes pride in this 7th grade spiritual root. That we are right in his proudest domain. Defeat him thoroughly. Finished speaking. Looking again at Cao Zhen. I'm asking you, what if you lost? Cao Zhen smiled. Sister Liu, you probably still don't understand me. He slowly released his spiritual energy. That level of purity. It surprised all the elders present. Mainframe level 4, truly deserving of a seventh grade spiritual root. At such a young age to have such skills. Absolutely comparable to the legendary Liu Qingxian of the past. Even Lai Qingfeng showed a look of envy. If Liu Ruxu also had the heritage of the Cao family, I believe it won't be worse than him. What a pity! Liu Wenchen was slightly surprised. It only makes me feel that Liu Qingxian is bringing shame upon herself. The two are separated by a realm. The foundation of the Cao family is unmatched by anyone. Cao Zhen's cultivation technique, much more brilliant than the equation. The outcome of the two peoples sparring after half a month. No need to think, it's obvious. Liu Qingxian revealed a playful expression. Which level have you reached in the dragon's path? Cao Zhen spoke with a hint of pride. Proudly said, 12th floor, only beneath that unparalleled genius. As soon as these words were spoken, the elders present all showed expressions of astonishment. That unparalleled genius from the 13th floor. They had heard about it long ago. Such characters. The future will definitely be a presence like a clear sky and giant waves. I didn't expect that. Cao Zhen is surprisingly second only to the other party. Liu Qingxian's lips curled into a barely noticeable, cold smile. That's quite impressive. Then just answer my question. What happens when you lose? Cao Zhen frowned. He was a bit angry. You have already shown such outstanding strength. Liu Qingxian actually believes she will lose. Moreover, it was a loss to a talentless weakling. He let out a soft hum. If I lose, just exit the cycle of reincarnation, placed under the sect's guidance. Liu Wenchen's eyes lit up. The mystery has extinguished. He indeed cherishes this seventh grade spiritual root. What a pity. Fang Chen has no ability to win. Liu Qingxian smiled gently. And waiting for you to exit the cycle of reincarnation. Fang Chen looked fierce. Raised a hand. Fang Chen's old face flushed red. Whispered, I didn't see anything, okay? The mist in the spirit pool is so thick. I could only see a vague outline. Liu Qingxian noticed that Fang Chen's face was flushed. Couldn't help but blink. No way. You actually blushed. Fang Chen couldn't take it anymore. Stay away from him. I promise. The future of Ling Chai. No more mentions of it. Liu Qingxian chuckled softly. I increasingly find Fang Chen interesting. It looks like he is still a pure little boy. Couldn't help but reveal the truth. No longer teasing him. Inviting you to join in the exchange. I am thinking of you. The new disciples throughout history. Worship the ancestral master. A choice will be made. The most outstanding new disciple. Qingyan sect will grant a reward. That is to enter the Sutra treasury. Choose a cultivation method. What? There are such benefits. He has always wanted to change a book. Higher level sword techniques. Suffering from a lack of opportunities. Fang Chen revealed a smile. Okay, I accept the challenge. Cao Zhen watched the two of them being so close. A flicker of intense flame danced in the pupils. Yao Yao looked at Fang Chen. Doubt. Half a month later, let's compete against each other. I hope you don't lose too quickly. He secretly vowed revenge. It must be in front of Liu Qingxian. Severely teach Fang Chen a lesson. Let Liu Qingxian see for herself, the person I cherish so much, beaten like a dead dog by him. Soon after, the elders and disciples gradually dispersed. Fang Chen bids farewell to Liu Ruxu and Chen Silin, as Liu Wenchen headed towards the master peak. Liu Ruxu watched Fang Chen leave. The gaze swept over the purple silhouette of Liu Qingxian. Unwillingly, I took a peek. Silin, you are about to have a little sister." Chen Silin was at a loss whether to laugh or cry. He also noticed it. The daughter of the sect master. It seems that Dewey Fangchen is indeed very interested. Liu Ruxu rubbed her brow. "Da, what kind of eyes do you both have? Why is everyone looking up at Fang Chen? I really don't understand. Where is he so good? He loves Fang Chen because. It is because they have been together for 10 years. There was also Fang Chen's silent warmth towards him. How did Chen Silin suddenly start liking Fang Chen? Still willing to be a joke. All right. Let's say Chen Silin and the Chen family were forced by the circumstances of the time. Reluctantly agreed. But the daughter of the prestigious Qingyan sect's leader, how could she fall for Fang Chen, who has 2 wives? This left him utterly perplexed. For this, Chen Silin could only smile bitterly. In his view, Liu Qingxian is not lowering himself to such a level, but unintentionally climbed a mountain that reaches the sky. Zhang Du Fen. Liu Wenchen returned home in a bad mood. Fang Chen, already defeated and entered under the sect's master. From then on, he focused solely on martial arts, just practicing in the wind without worries, trying not to go out too much. Do not spread negative remarks about this style. Do you understand? Fang Chen was completely confused. He just wants to spread unfavorable remarks. You need to know some gossip to spread it, after all. He has just arrived. Where to hear the gossip? Although I find this advice quite baffling. But he still listened with great humility. Yes, master. Liu Wenchen was somewhat satisfied with his attitude. Casually took out some things to give to him. This is your resource for this month. A bottle of low-grade aphrodisiac. 100 gold coins. This is the key to your cave. There is still. Starting tomorrow, you are responsible for collecting honey. I hurry ahead. Liu Qingxian is not a big deal yet. Fang Chen can be told to collect honey. Liu Qingxian complained. Dead? Fang Chen is just about to arrive. Just let him collect honey. Those wolf-headed bees are very fierce. Stare at anyone you see, and it will hurt so much that one feels like they are dying and coming back to life. He has no experience at all. Just let him go. You are suppressing sudden wealth. Wolf-headed bees. Fang Chen has seen it in the undying point. It is a precious spirit bee. The honey produced contains unique spiritual energy. It is a rare delicacy that even high-level practitioners seldom have the chance to taste. It's just that, as Liu Qingxian said, harvesting wolf-head bee honey, the danger is not small. No experience. We'll end up with bumps all over your head, crying out for my parents in pain. Fortunately, it mentions a certain type of medicine. You can easily handle the wolf-headed wasp. Liu Wenchen said with a stern face. Every disciple has a task. Fang Chen is no exception. He not only wants to collect honey, also ensure to collect 1 pound within 3 days. If it's not enough, just get punished. Understood. Fang Chen. Liu Qingxian was also preparing to fight for Fang Chen. Senior sister, I have no problem. Fang Chendao, I will ensure to fulfill the master's instructions. Liu Wenchen nodded. After the collection is complete, the senior brother will assess your tasks. Don't be the last one left behind, being teased by other senior brothers. Each disciple has their own tasks. I'm sorry, but I can't assist with that. Scored by the eldest disciple. This can also be considered a kind of competition among disciples. Fang Chen's gaze flickered slightly. What if the score is high? Liu Wenchen couldn't help but laugh. When I first arrived, I wanted to surpass the other senior brothers but failed. The top three words. The honey you collected. I'll share half with you. I've. Fang Chen's heart is calm and joyful. Da. Yes. Master. Sanju Fan Nan Si. Stay away from the main hall of the sect. A villa near the cliff. This will be your cave from now on. Liu Qingxian held the key. Open the lock of the gate to the other courtyard for Fang Chen, carrying the path filled with, "My dad is clearly getting back at you. I'll just give you the most difficult task." The cave dwelling is also the most remote. Fang Chen actually liked this place very much. Other senior brothers' caves are just piles of rubble, close to each other. That way it was certainly lively. Fang Chen really needs a private space. For example, alchemy, refining the body, and so on. Thank you, senior sister, for your concern. But I am very satisfied with this place. You don't need to worry about the task. I won't let my master down. Fang Chen had no complaints at all. A positive and uplifting attitude. Let Liu Qingxian feel a bit hesitant about going. He forced his father to take on a disciple. This led to Fang Chen's difficult situation. He patted Fang Chen's shoulder. I will also find a way to help with the task. I must make my father see you in a new light. Fang Chen smiled, sending Liu Qingxian away. He immediately closed the door. Ensure the doors and windows have formations. Very strict. It's hard for outsiders to easily intrude. It's also difficult to glimpse. He felt at ease. Immediately took out the materials for the fierce tiger pill. Mix it on the spot. 1 hour later, a ball of incense filled with the scent of roses. A fragrance wafted out from the alchemy furnace. Fang Chen knew that the fierce tiger pill was already perfected. After opening the Dan furnace, indeed, several were seen with white patterns on their surface. At first glance, a dam with a tiger striped orange hue. No wonder it's called fierce tiger pill. Fang Chen took it out. Take out the excerpt of the Iron Blood True Classic. Start to realize. Tai and cultivation techniques are completely different. It is not the danshan and veins that are being used, but rather the muscles and bones of the body. Release power through them. The first layer of understanding is almost complete. He began to cultivate. He first drew the purple arrow, used 3 breaths of time. It was quite difficult to pull out an arrow flower. After completing the first level of cultivation, would it be easier to show it? So, swallowing a fierce tiger pill, he began to cultivate the iron blood true scripture. The elixir is consumed. He immediately felt a burning pain in his abdomen. He knew that the medicine was taking effect. Immediately follow the methods of the iron-blooded true scripture, guiding the medicinal power to enter the bones and muscles throughout the body. The intense pain in the abdomen subsides, and a burning pain gradually spread throughout the body. But this is also the core of Tai. He endured the pain, continuously guiding the medicinal power, washing the body over and over again. Finally, after half a day, it was covered in a layer of gray-brown, sticky impurities, carrying a faint smell of fishiness. First layer, red-skinned iron bones. The symbol of the minister is preliminary elimination of impurities from the body. Fang Chen's face showed a look of joy. Ah, no one can train among giants. Iron blood true scripture. I have trained to reach the first level, the red-skinned iron bones. He immediately picked up the purple sword. Try to perform a sword flower, although it still seems a bit clumsy. But it only took a moment. It really works. Fang Chen immediately started to show off. 7-star sword technique. Finally, I can barely finish brushing and not end up like before. It's exhausting just to wave it around. Fang Shidi. At this moment, there are unfamiliar shouts outside the door. Fang Chen quickly wrapped the purple sword again, then wipe off the impurities on the body. Looking out the door, it is a chubby disciple dressed in the attire of the sect master. Fang Shidi. The master is calling you to the charity hall for a meal. Fang Chen finally realized. I haven't eaten anything since this morning. The stomach started to grumble uncontrollably. Thank you for the reminder, senior brother. I'll go later. Return to the house. He took a shower, arrived at the charity hall in clean clothes. About 20 disciples in the hall are having their meal. I saw Fang Chen come in. Immediately, curious gazes were directed towards him. He is the junior disciple that senior Sister Liu strongly requested Master to accept. I heard he has no spiritual roots. Sister Liu did it for him, even risking a bet with Cao Zhan of the Wheel of Reincarnation. His momentum, bigger than the newly accepted disciple Tao Shi Dai with 6 grade spiritual roots. This time, all winds gather to the earth. Liu Wenchen did not come away empty-handed. He took on a 6th grade spiritual root disciple as his student, preparing to accept them as this year's true disciples. Everyone looked towards the distance. A statuesque figure, Tao Zhenjun, like an iron tower. He also heard everyone's discussions. Unintentionally, I looked towards Fang Chen, who was stepping in. There was a hint of hostility in his gaze. Hey, newcomer. Tao Zhengjun's tone was unkind. 2 similarly aged youths glared at Fang Chen. I've heard you're really good at charming women. Even senior Sister Lion Liu has been completely charmed by you. You are exceptionally accepted into our sect leaders' hall. Fang Chen, who was solely focused on getting a meal, suddenly provoked, looking towards the sound, also surprised by this robust and exaggerated physique. He is at least 2 meters tall, covered in fat. Standing up is like a mountain of flesh. Gives a considerable sense of oppression. But there are no grievances or grudges. Why provoke yourself? He couldn't be bothered to pay attention to the other person. Picked up a bowl and filled it with rice. Then a lot of meat was added. I don't know if it's body refinement, due to the excessive consumption of food. He has never been this hungry before. Sit down and just dig in. Tao Zhenjun's brain is spicy, slamming the chopsticks down hard on the dining table. Taiju's chopsticks. It was bent from being hit. Little brat, you treat my words like the wind passing by, huh? He was like a small mountain, heading towards Fang Chen's grand competition. Many disciples showed an expression of curiosity. Some female disciples felt that things were not looking good. Master brother, you need to stop it quickly. What if I accidentally hurt Shidi Feng with my hand? A female disciple. Remind the handsome person beside me. A man in light clothing over 30. His gaze was indifferent. Down. It's normal for newcomers to have disputes. Let them compete against each other. Distinguishing between strength and weakness, respect and disdain is fine. In the future, it can reduce many conflicts. That's true. They are all newcomers, who would want to be beneath others to avoid constant conflicts between both parties in the future. However, there is a contradiction. These senior brothers and sisters, are going to step in to mediate. It's better to determine the winner early on. In this way, the weaker side will naturally compel the stronger side. The conflict between both sides has decreased. As senior brothers and sisters, they can also avoid a lot of trouble. The concern of the female disciple is, are you sure things won't escalate? Tao Zhenjun not only has a high realm. Is the Tao family still a family of martial arts practitioners? Fang Chen's slimming board. It also caused some problems. Senior brother is focused on eating. Unwavering focus. calmly said, "Since Fang Shidi is valued by Liu Shaimai, then one must bear the corresponding weight, can't bear even a little pain. It's better to leave the master Feng early." He let out a slight sigh. "Fang Chen, don't blame your seniors for not helping you anymore. Blame yourself. Not capable of that. Why take on such a fragile task?" He seemed to have already seen. Fang Chen was beaten badly, with a bruised face. Several disciples wished to intervene. It was clear that senior brother had no intention of stopping. He sat back on the bench with great interest. Tao Zhengjun's body was like a mountain of flesh. The ground trembled slightly underfoot. "He seems clumsy. The pace is actually very fast. 3 steps and 2 steps." He came to stand behind Fang Chen. A massive body cast a heavy shadow. Surround Fang Chen. Still eating. Tao Zhengjun watched Fang Chen still eating. He acted as if he didn't care about him at all. Couldn't help but laugh. "I really thought Senior Liu would have my back. Then they can do whatever they want." He grabbed Fang Chen's shoulder tightly. He snorted coldly. "I tell you, who is the boss among the newcomers? Relying on one's abilities. But not a woman. Do you know?" Fang Chen put down his chopsticks. The brows gradually furrowed. "Gently pull your hand away." Tao Zhengjun laughed. "Not only did they not move away, slowly apply pressure. He follows the path of dual cultivation of martial and spiritual arts. The strength in my hands can easily crush stones. Anyone who has their shoulder gripped by him, unless the bones fall apart. Otherwise, don't even think about taking it away." "Huh, I'm not convinced." "Then let me take a look. What skills do you have?" He was ready for Fang Chen to use his spiritual power, even thought about what techniques Fang Chen would use. Fang Chen, however, made a decision, the action that he and all the disciples present did not anticipate. He reached out his palm. A hand tightly grasped Tao Zhengjun's hand, due to size reasons. Fan Chen's palm, like a baby's small hand, generally held in an adult's palm. Tao Zhengjun couldn't help but smile. "What, do you still want to arm wrestle with me?" "Skinny, how much strength can one have?" The senior brother in the distance. It also revealed a hint of bluish-green stone color. "Engaging in battle with others. Avoid others' strengths. The shortcomings of warriors. Fang Chen is doing well. Directly confront Tao Zhengjun in the field he excels at. This kind of mindset. You are not worthy to be a disciple of the sect leader." However, the next moment, a sudden scream echoed through the hall. "It belongs to Tao Zhengjun." Master Brother couldn't help but be surprised that the strategy was forgotten. The fear immediately shrank. Only Fang Chen's seemingly small palm was visible. She casually pinched Tao Zhengjun's wrist. He casually removed it from his shoulder. He hardly used any effort. Yet it made the body training expert Tao Zhengjun jump in pain. Struggling to pull back my hand. But it was tightly grasped by an iron fist. No matter how hard I try, I can't pull it back. This scene, it left the disciples present in shock. Afterward, Fang Chen easily flicked. The tower like Tao Zhengjun was thrown back repeatedly by a tremendous force. Suddenly crashed into the beam. The entire roof shook. Tao Zhengjun looked around, looking at the pairs of bewildered gazes, betrayed and humiliated. "Let's go again," he ordered, rushing forward. A pair of fists struck Fang Chen's back fiercely. Fang Chen couldn't bear it any longer. Suddenly stood up. "Dao, I won't knock you down. I can't eat properly anymore." Facing the oncoming double fists. It was a clash of fists without any skill. And like the dull crack of a whip striking the ground. Tao Zhengjun's running figure, both slender and stout. It feels like hitting a wall. Suddenly bounced back, flipped over several tables, lying on the ground, wailing incessantly. Both arms were in severe pain. It feels as if the bones have shattered. Immediately shook his head. Fury Wandao. No more comparisons, no more. I give up, I give up. Thus, Fang Chen finally moved his foot away. Tao Zhenjun can finally start to breathe. Thinking of the scene just now, Tao Zhenjun was completely afraid of Fang Chen. She shrank her neck and kept her distance from him. No more daring to provoke. The disciples stared in astonishment. Sure, this junior brother Fang is quite the hidden talent. Turns out, he's still a martial arts master. No wonder Sister Liu favors him so much. Talent. This is definitely a talent. There aren't many practitioners of body training in our Qingyan sect. Now our sect leader Feng has found a good candidate for body training. And a crisp sound echoed. Shikshin put down his chopsticks, carrying with hands, approached Fang Chen with an imposing demeanor. Shantang disturbance. Do you know your mistake? Fang Chen was just about to head back to eat. Furrowed his brow. Why is another one here? First, state your name. Let's talk again. The female disciple beside him let out a sigh. Reckless. This is our sect leader, Master Feng, the eldest senior brother. Wan Chengjian. Wan Shikshin. So this is the senior brother. Fang Chen remained neither humble nor resistant. Senior brother asks well. During the disturbance, you don't stop it. Keje Chuo. Fang Chen. Wan Chengjian was wary of his relationship with Liu Qingshan, and he has suspicions of inciting disputes in Japan. The situation escalated. He couldn't escape punishment either. Wan Chengjian's gaze slightly darkened. Slowly bounce out 4 characters. Courage is commendable. Fang Chen cupped his hands in greeting, not overly concerned or indifferent. Thank you, senior brother, for the compliment. Wang Chengjian said coldly, You're welcome. Looking forward to the job in a few days. You can also do it beautifully like you are now. Otherwise, I don't mind letting you clean the first shop. Finished speaking. Leaving as a deputy. Fang Chen shrugged nonchalantly. Keep eating. In the astonished gaze of the disciples. He worked through 5 big dinners before finally feeling full. Returning to the cave. Fang Chen was not idle either. I took out several common spices. Grind them into powder one by one. Then filter out the coarse particles. Finally, blend several spices together. Bake slowly on low heat. One night later, he had an extra jade bottle in his hand. It contains half a bottle of clear liquid. Go give it a try. Fang Chen arrived at the edge of the cliff on the eastern side of the Zongju Peak. The hive of the wolf-headed bee is located halfway up the cliff. And let's not mention how fierce the wolf-headed bees are. Climbing down is quite dangerous. When he arrived, 3 disciples have already received the same task of harvesting honey, help with mining below a rope. Liang Jiu. They climbed up in quite a disheveled manner. 2 of them are fine. The body was wrapped tightly, like 2 big bears. The stinger of the wolf-headed bee. It can't penetrate the back of the clothes at all. Another chubby disciple. It's the one who called Fang Chen to eat. He was really unlucky, because the belly is too big. I pulled the pants wide open, exposed the belly. The wolf-headed bee is not polite. A total of 49 stitches were sewn on the top, covered the dense red seed blisters. He rolled on the ground in pain. Quick, give me the pain relief pills. He held his head, a scream that makes one question their existence. The other 2 disciples looked troubled. Last time, We gave you all the remaining painkillers." Upon hearing this, the plump disciple let out a howl like a ghost. Fang Chen's ears were almost deafened. He acted decisively. A punch landed on the back of his head. The chubby disciple fainted with just a roll of the eyes. The pain relief pill doesn't have this effect. Fang Chen curled her lips. Two disciples looked fierce. You can think about it carefully. It really is. Simple and brutal. There is still some elixir money left. Seeing Fang Chen come here, the two disciples were astonished. Is it possible that the junior brother's task is also to collect wolf head honey? Fang Chen nodded. Pulling a rope, he said, "Can I borrow your rope?" "Wait, junior brother." The two disciples called out to him simultaneously. "I can't go. Now a change has occurred in the hive. It's dangerous for anyone to go." "Unexpected change!" Fang Chen exclaimed in surprise. "Please guide me, senior brothers." A disciple took off his thick clothes. With a worried expression, "We just wanted to gather honey earlier. Only after going did I realize. A spirit beast broke into the beehive. It is voraciously devouring the honey. Let the wolf-headed bees all get stirred up. Fiercely attack that spirit beast. Let's go down." They were mistaken for accomplices by the wolf-headed bees, also crazily attacked. Saying this, the disciple shook his clothes. A ground covered with fallen bee stings, dense and intricate. There are easily several hundred of them. You can see how crazy the wolf-headed bees are right now. Junior brother really wants to go down. Let's do it another day. The two disciples kindly reminded. Still waiting for another day. God knows when that will be. How much honey did the spirit beast leave? Unable to complete the 3 jin task. That would mean the mission has failed. I have completed the master's instructions for the first time. It can't possibly go wrong, right? I'll go down and take a look. Fang Chen Dao. The disciple saw that Fang Chen was not listening to advice. Then you put on my thick clothes. You just continue like this. We'll be broken." Fang Chen shook his head. "No need." Speaking, climbing down with a rope. The two disciples couldn't help but frown. This junior brother Fang, aren't you being too arrogant? Let's wait again. It won't be long. He will shout for help. Fang Chen actually doesn't need a rope. With his agility, able to walk on cliffs as if on flat ground. It's just unnecessary to make the two senior brothers too worried. Soon he slid down to the halfway point of the mountain. Below is the bottomless abyss. I really don't know what kind of spirit beast it is. Can run up to such a high place to steal honey. Far away, he indeed saw it on the cliff. A cave as tall as a person. A large golden honeycomb. Emerging from the cave, countless wolf-headed bees, buzzing and making a racket, occasionally rush in to attack something. At this moment, a wolf-headed bee discovered Fang Chen. Immediately flapping its wings, it pounced towards Fang Chen. Fang Chen immediately opened the prepared jade bottle, released an astonishingly powerful fragrance. As the wolf-headed bee approached, surprisingly, they no longer attacked him, but instead kept revolving around him. It seems like Fang Chen is treated as a flower. Flowers that can be used to gather honey. No more hostility. Fang Chen pressed on this method, and it was indeed effective. Easily slid all the way to the cave. Looking inside, short legs can't reach the mouth. Just throw it away casually. Break off another big piece. Continue happily munching. The ground is covered with discarded beehives. Rough estimate. Light is just wasted honey. At least 5 pounds. A prodigal son. Fang Chen's forehead pulsed lightly. Fortunately, he came. Otherwise, no amount of honey here will be enough for his regret. What's even more frustrating is he relies on his tough skin and strong build. The wolf-headed wasp can't sting him. The hornets attacked with their tongues out. That way, you're really asking for a beating. Little rascal, get lost. Fang Chen couldn't hold back. Scolded. The little spirit beast finally realized someone had intruded. Immediately get on all fours. The tail is held high. Every hair on my body stood on end. With a small mouth open, let out a strange howl with bared teeth. Not afraid of anyone at all, Fang Chen laughed. Stepped forward to grab him by the neck. Throw him out. I want to see the follow-up stories of Xuan Ling Tian in advance. You can download Kidian Reading. Then open the search. Xuan Ling Tian. Please be careful not to make any typos or omissions, because the blogger uses a theft-proof name. So the first one to jump out is Cleo. He quickly darted over. The speed is incredible. Fang Chen almost didn't react in time. He quickly withdrew his hand. Then I felt a burning sensation in my palm. Looking down, 5 white shallow scratches appeared on the back of the hand. Your claws are quite sharp, huh? The speed is astonishingly fast. Fang Chen said silently. If it weren't for his exceptional agility, and achieve the realm of copper skin and iron bones. That last claw, at least the wound has to reach the bone. The little spirit beast seemed surprised as well. He even raised his right paw in confusion, wondering if the claws haven't been sharpened. Not sharp enough anymore. Little thing, you've encountered your nemesis. Fang Chen squinted his eyes. Immediately use your agility. The little spirit beast was also startled by Fang Chen's agility, his pride in his flexibility, unable to exert any advantage in front of Fang Chen. Even sharp claws cannot cause harm. Just 7 or 8 rounds. He was grabbed by Fang Chen by the neck, pressed against the wall. Ordinary people really can't do anything to you. Fang Chen took a slight breath. There is no realm of 7 or 8 layers without assistance. Facing this little one, I'm afraid everyone will suffer a big loss. It's even harder to catch him now. The little spirit beast flailed its legs defiantly, trying to claw at Fang Chen fiercely. Alas, 4 little short legs. It's just too short. Why can't I reach it? First, stay aside from my teacher. Fang Chen pulled down a few vines from the stone wall. They tied him up tightly like a meatball, discarded in the corner. Then they happily harvested the honey. Wolf-headed bees, smelling the fragrance on Fang Chen. They tacitly chose not to attack him. Let him take away the honey. On the cliff, the 2 disciples waited for half a day. There was no sign of any pulling movement. I couldn't help but feel worried. He won't even have time to dig a pit. Just got crushed to death down there. At this moment, the rope swayed suddenly. The 2 immediately ran over. Pull hard. Before long, Fang Chen was pulled up. Seeing him unscathed, the 2 were stunned. The wolf-headed wasp surprisingly doesn't sting you. Immediately following that, the 2 were amazed to discover Fang Chen was still holding a large bundle of beehive in his arms. The honey inside. It weighs a full 4 jin. You pick so many. The wolf-headed wasp actually didn't attack you. Those wolf-headed bees treat honey as a treasure. Every point is pushed to the limit. Moreover, it's so much. Chidi, you're simply amazing. Fang Chen said nothing. One person cut a pound. Take it and submit it the day after tomorrow. The 2 felt embarrassed. How can I face this? Fang Chen Dao, we are all brothers in arms. What is there to be embarrassed about? There are still many more. He simply can't take it. The 2 received it with grateful expressions. One person suddenly lowered their voice. Shady, just a reminder. Just give me a pound of honey. Sell the extra self at the night market. Very valuable. We will keep it a secret for you. After the two finished speaking, mysteriously he carried the plump disciple away. Fang Chen chuckled softly. Once they walked far away, he sought a gong basket. Silently it went down again, not long after, carrying a full 10 pounds of honey, and the little spirit beast returned to the cave. This task should be almost certain to succeed. Even the senior brother can't find any faults. Fang Chen tossed the honey aside. I turned to look at the small spirit beast. Despite being tied up like a meatball, he still had a fierce expression, baring his teeth. Still so fierce. I'll ask you again in a few days. He brought a chicken coop. Throw the little spirit beast in. Little did they know, outside Qingyan City, a gigantic creature, like a bird resembling a phoenix. Several graceful figures stand tall. At the forefront is a woman, in his 40s. Her appearance, however, is maintained as if she is in her 30s. Are you sure? Did my spirit pet run to Qingyan City? The woman in charge. It's no one else. It is one of the 9 great sects. The master of the spirit beast sect. Guankei. This time I received the imperial edict. It was precisely because the beasts were searching for her that it all began. There can't be any problems. A beautiful female disciple. Quan Shen Dao. Yes. The disciple saw her sneak into Qingyan City. Guankei nodded slowly. All right, then. I used the excuse of observing the Qingyan sect's new disciples paying respects to their ancestors. Stay at Qingyan sect. You secretly look for me. We must find her. 2 days later, as the bell rang, disciples of the sovereign wind, gathering towards the grand hall. Today's the day they submit their report. If in the past, everyone doesn't really care much, because it has become a habit. But today is different. The senior brother has made a statement. Fang Chen did not pass. Just let her clean the latrine. Everyone eagerly awaited the arrival of Fang Chen. Fang Chen heard the bell tolling, ready to head out as well. Unexpectedly, Liu Qingxian quietly knocked on the door. Fang Chen, open the door quickly. Fang Chen opened the door for her in surprise. I haven't even opened my mouth to ask yet. I was pulled into the room by Liu Qingxian. They looked her up and down, discovered she was fine, finally let out a sigh of relief. I'll give you credit for being smart. Do not seek out trouble for yourself. She carefully took out a jade box, snuggled into Fang Chen's embrace. Take it. Fang Chen decided to make a plan, unintentionally filled with malice. Hammer of fate. Senior sister, where are you from? Liu Qingxian leaned against the door, gave Fang Chen a small eye roll, falling from the sky. At this moment, Fang Chen recalled what those 2 senior brothers had said. This item is very precious. High prices can be fetched at the night market. Then you will know how Liu Qingxian came to be. Then what do you want me to do? Fang Chen was taken aback. She has about 10 pounds in her basket. Liu Qingxian looked at her with a strange expression. It seems like there are doubts. Is she a fool? Nonsense. Of course, it's to make you accountable. Is that meant for you to eat? Give me an account. Fang Chen suddenly felt the honey in his hand was heavy. Besides Liu Ruxu and Chen Xiling, Liu Qingxian is the 3rd woman to think of her. Thank you, senior sister. Fang Chen expressed his gratitude, although she doesn't need it. But she felt, this pound of honey, more precious than 10 pounds in a basket. Liu Qingxian said indifferently, there's no way. Who made you so unlucky? When accepting the task of harvesting honey, something happened in the hive. The most experienced honey gatherer, Chen Pangzi. They have all been beaten to the point of still being unconscious. I have been worried all along. You will grit your teeth. What a silly thing to do. I'm relieved to see you're okay. Fang Chen was at a loss whether to cry or laugh. She didn't just go down. They also brought back quite a bit of honey. All right. Hurry and report to the main hall. This is your first time completing a task. My father will also be watching on site. Later, just take this jar of honey. Strike her face fiercely. Let her underestimate you. HMPH. A soft hum of displeasure. She quietly slipped away. Fangchen couldn't help but mutter in silence. I don't have any issues with your father. You actually have an opinion. Thought about it. She left the honey given to her by Li Qingxian at home. Treasure it well. Carrying a basket, I arrived at the main hall. Tao Shenjun collected the 3 spiritual pearls. There is a significant difference from the 10-pearl target. The score is failing. Senior brother Wang Chengjian, checking the disciples' tasks one by one. Tao Zhenzhen's mission was not completed. He gently patted him on the shoulder. Is this your first time here? Not familiar with the growth conditions of Ling Shen. It's normal not to complete the task. This time I won't punish you. Next time work hard. Next. Fang Chen happened to arrive. Place the basket in front of him. The many disciples instantly became spirited. The show is starting now. Isn't his task to collect honey? What are you carrying the basket for? Could it be that they went to gather herbs? If that's the case, senior brother has an excuse now. I see it's Fang Chen. Wang Chengjian's expression changed. Restored strictness. Dao Fangchen, your task is what? Do you remember? Collecting a pound of wolf head honey. Fang Chen's complexion was pale. No need for Big Brother Master to remind me. 3 days have passed. He is still so headstrong. Wang Chengjian narrowed his eyes slightly. Dao Hao, if you have such a good memory, then you shouldn't have forgotten. I warned you. If the task is not completed, all the records sealed by the sovereign. It was all you who cleaned up. Fang Chen slightly frowned. Just now, his attitude towards Tao Zhengjun. You can't just pretend you didn't see it. Tao Shidi didn't complete the task either, did he? Why is the senior brother so understanding and generous? The path has reached me. Do we have to punish? Is this considered using public teachings for personal gain? The disciples exchanged glances at each other. Where there are people, there are human emotions. Tao Zhengjun's family is well off. Privately, I often gave benefits to the senior brother. He naturally favors the other party. Such things have happened many times. It's just that everyone is intimidated by the master brother's authority. Didn't dare to make it known. Never expected. Fang Chen, this troublemaker, publicly questioned. Wang Chenjin's expression was one of concern. Yu Guangxiao glanced at the grand hall behind him. If it were usual, he could totally ignore it. But this time, Li Wenchen personally came to see you. Wang Chengjin had a stern expression. Tao Shidi is used to a life of luxury and comfort. I just provided a little care. Since you are such a small degree captain, then let it be as you wish. Tao Shidi is not your senior brother, so he won't take care of you. Fang Chen cannot tolerate you. So you are also prepared to implement the Mao Zedong strategy. Sorry, I can't assist with that. Tao Zhengjun was so angry that he was snorting through his nostrils, glaring fiercely at Fang Chen. Fang Chen turned around coldly. Bow to do it. You have an opinion. Tao Zhengjun then recalled Fang Chen's thunderous methods. Uncontrollably shivering, Wan Dao, no objections. No objections. That encounter gave him a deep impression. Wang Chengjian's relentless pursuit, really useless. I intended to provoke a conflict between Tao Zhengjun and Fang Chen. Who knows? Tao Zhengjun has been completely subdued. In the main hall, Liu Qingxian said with a smile, "Dad, did you see it? Fang Chen must have your precious A2 feeling so angry it can't speak up." Liu Wenchun's throat twitched slightly. "I saw a ghost. Tao Zhengjun is a rare talent who excels in both martial arts and scholarship. How did I end up being bullied like this by Fang Chen, a guy without any spiritual roots? Don't be too proud yet. I heard that there was a change in this wave. Kaifeng has lost control over Chen Dinsheng. Bent badly. Fang Chen was completely unharmed. It doesn't look like there has been a storm. He'd better not pull out a piece of honey later." Liu Wenchen gave Liu Qingxian a meaningful glance. The latter's heart skipped a beat. "I have a bad feeling. The matter of secretly buying honey. Father found out. But he has been in seclusion these past 2 days. I haven't gone down the mountain. At this moment, Wan Chengjian no longer wants to be with Fang Chen Liuo. Fang Chen Liuo